I'm here with Leslee Scallon, co-founder of Dances with Films. Leslie, thank you for taking the time with us today.
Well, thank you for giving me some time.
Oh, my pleasure. 17 years of Dances with Films. Fantastic. Such a milestone. Tell me a little bit about the festival.
Well, we're an independent film festival, which a lot of film festivals are independent film festivals, but our difference is the fact that we really try to promote films that have no stars. The whole thing for us is if you have a name attached to your film, it's probably not qualified for our festival. We try not to be prejudicial against working actors and people like that, but the thing is that we really are we are a discovery festival. We want to give and showcase films to the industry. It's the reason we created it way back in 17 years ago. So.
Well, fantastic. And tell me a little bit about the different categories that people can qualify or submit to for the film
Well,
festival.
we have feature films, which are full length. We have short films. We have documentary full length films. We have documentary shorts and music videos. And this year we actually added a little bonus section, which is kids films. And these kids films are made by kids as well as for kids. So we are doing a whole short section and a couple of small features that are geared just towards that group. And it's fantastic energy from these kids. I mean, it's so exciting to see people just grab stuff and get out and make a film. You know, they don't think about all of the problems or all the reasons they shouldn't. They just create these little mini masterpieces. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And tell me how you got involved in this. You know, what was your calling to, give this opportunity to up-and-coming performers?
Well, back in 1996, the other co-founder, Michael Trent, and myself, we actually were actors here in town, and we got a little tired of sitting around waiting for somebody to call us and give us a job. And this was the time of Brothers McMullen and El Mariachi and all of those great independent films with no names that were starting to break through. And we were like, we need to get in and create our own opportunity. And so we did. We filmed and we wrote, and we directed, we produced, we did everything, and created a film called Indemnity, which we shot up in Oregon with a small cast and crew from Los Angeles. And then there's this whole nother world once you get past that whole point of creating and doing that you don't know. You don't realize as an actor, you don't realize, I don't even think you realize it as a director, not at the first. But there's a whole thing about trying to get your film sold. So now you have a product and you've got to sell it, and then you try to find out how and where and all this stuff. Well, it was a great big huge learning curve for us. And the fact is that we found out it's not as easy as it looks. Seemed like, Robert Rodriguez sold his blood and boom, he made a film. And we thought we sold some blood, but really it was just blood, sweat, and tears, But once we did that, we then went in, we applied to some of the bigger industry festivals, the ones where we knew people would be looking at our work. And unfortunately, we didn't get into them, so we knew we needed to create our own opportunity again, and we did it with Dances with Films. Michael came up with this absolutely crazy idea. I told him, no, don't do it, this is crazy. And he said, let's band together other filmmakers who are making good films just like us, but who don't have a star in it. And let's showcase, premiere all of these films. And we did that in 1998. We threw the festival together in 8 months. And after it was done and we had taken a deep breath, we were like, that's it, we're done. We're not going to do it again. And then the filmmakers of that year came in and they were like, you can't stop. This is helping us to move on and to do another piece or another piece. And please don't take away this really wonderful event that we just did. And so this community just came out of this real grassroots, feeling and love of film and appreciation of what the other guy's gone through. Actors don't understand what acting is unless they talk to other actors. Editors, it sometimes feels like a very lonely existence when you're just that one person trying to dream your dream. But the real truth of it is that there's a real group. And then when you start to get to compare all those war stories and where it's like, the guy had to have a cappuccino in the afternoon. Who has a cappuccino machine in the afternoon? So we took the old coffee from the morning, we went and gave it to him and called it a cappuccino. And those are the things, all of a sudden we realized, we weren't alone in our desire or our fight to create something really unique. And it's been that way ever since year one. And we still have filmmakers from year one who support us, who help us, who submit to us, and it's just been a fantastic ride. It really has.
Now tell me a little bit about the selection process. You know, when someone submits their film or their project, I'm sure there's a board, it goes through a process. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, again, since we're filmmakers, and we are primarily all filmmakers who work on it. I mean, everybody donates so much time and energy into it. It's really fantastic. But once you submit to us, what we do is we have a screening committee, and the film is seen, and I mean every film, full length or short or music video, kids, is seen by at least 3 different people. We feel very, very strongly that everybody has a different taste, a different like, a different take on something. So we want it to be seen by a variety of types of people and that such. Throughout the years, we have gotten a terrific crew that works with us, and new ones come in every year, and that's how we keep expanding it. Now, in viewing it, shorts we view in a committee situation, features are taken home, and reviews are written up. They're usually very not lengthy, but in detail for the features. Shorts not as much because we're doing it in a group setting. But it must see, second look, or pass. I mean, it really is it's that simple. All we want to know is, did you love it? It was okay? Or, it's not going to work for me. And then we look at all of that. We look at a lot of the factors within what the filmmaker is. We have a lot of dialogue back and forth with the filmmakers, emailing them. And what most filmmakers don't understand is that at that same time, I'm seeing who they are. I'm seeing, are they gung-ho? What is their goals? What is their, and we look at this because we're not putting together this just to have somebody go, oh yeah, I had a screening in Hollywood, it was great, whatever. We're looking for people who can actively utilize that screening and create an opportunity for themselves. And so when we go through all of that and we really narrow it down, and there's so many films this year that they just so deserved a spot, but we only have so many slots that we have to fill, and we had to tell a few sorry. When we do tell them sorry, we always send back a personalized rejection letter, or we'd like to call them pass letters, I'm sorry. The thing is that we want to say something positive about the film. And this came again from our process of submitting to festivals. The fact is, you got back this generic letter and you were like, well, did they watch my film? And we want people to realize we did watch it, and that we did appreciate their entry. And we get thank you letters to our pass letters, that filmmakers are just appreciative of knowing that we've taken the time. And that's very, very important to us. It's also very time consuming, which is probably why a lot of other festivals don't do it, but it's important to us as filmmakers and actors and writers and directors that we are. And frankly, everybody's part of our community. We're very inclusive instead of exclusive. The fact is that it takes a lot for a filmmaker to make a film. I mean, not even think about the money. Think about all of the people you have to enlist and you have to find, and there's just so much that goes to it. And there should be just a small modicum of somewhere of respect for the person who has tried to actualize their dream. And that's what we're all about, is the dreams.
Absolutely. And how about a little advice for people who want to submit for next year? Are there little things from your point of view that you look for that they might take in consideration when they're developing their project?
Well, when development is such a key word, because if there was one thing that I had to say was probably a consistent on films that we end up passing on, is it's underdeveloped. Now here's where the indie world just kind of falls a little short of what the studios can do, and that is there isn't a whole development team. There isn't somebody with fresh eyes constantly looking at your script. There isn't somebody who it's better for them to say no to a project because they don't want to take a chance on something failing. So in the indie world, I think a lot of times people end up passing it through their friends, and their friends want to remain friends. So like, yeah, it was great, It's really a thing about truly, getting those people behind you that are going to be honest with you, and take your time with it. Get it fully edited. Don't, we do look at works in progresses, but it's always going to be better if you've got it to the point where you're happy with it. Then send it in to us, and then let us take a look at it. So that's a real key thing. And the second thing I would say is always be in communication. You know, we say we're going to email you a receipt that we've received your film, and if we didn't, we probably haven't received it. So check in with us, you know, and just be friendly, be nice, don't be demanding. We are very busy, we are very overworked, we're all working 16, 18-hour days, but it's very good to do that follow-up. And in fact, I have to say, in the Kids Festival this year, I don't know really how old she is, but I'd say 16, 17 years old. And she kept emailing me and saying, well, I don't see that you've accepted my film, and I haven't gotten, I'm like, I don't know. Looked all around for the DVD, I said, I don't think we've received it. So she resent it, got it on it, and then like 2 weeks later, here comes another DVD package. That was the one that was apparently lost. She probably wouldn't have gotten reviewed if she hadn't been attentive to where she wanted to be with her film, you know. So, and you know, really nice story short, you know, she actually is accepted into the festival. It was one that when we were sitting around with our fellow screeners, we were like, I can't believe a 17-year-old just made this. This is so touching, you know. It was like, you know, and it was like, it's a great little film. So.
Oh, fantastic.
And by little, I only mean short. No films are little.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fantastic. It's a lot of great advice. And how about your .com, social media, anything that you know, they can find out what's happening during the year?
Absolutely. We are at danceswithfilms.com. We are on Facebook with Dances with Films. They tell me we Twitter or tweet or whatever it is, but you know, that's all interconnected. And of course, we're on email. You can get to us at info@danceswithfilms if you have any questions.
Oh, perfect. Leslie, thank you for taking the time, and you know, look forward to 18, 19, and 20 years.
Me too.
Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.